The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of rmconair.com or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Makes no difference what group I'm in. I am everyday people. Yeah, yeah.
Everyday People. That's a song that I really love. It's very endearing to me from the standpoint that I just love everyday people. Today, I'm Walter Smith, host of the show, and today I'm going to do a solo. I had a guest lined up, but they're not able to make it. But I thought what I'd do is just interview myself as I do my guests, and it'll allow the viewers and listeners to learn a little bit more about Walter Smith. Before I get started on me, though, I want to talk about my scheduled guests coming up, and I have Mr. Ken Williams. He's the owner of Universal Beauty College. He actually owns two colleges, one in the Lemert Park area there on Crenshaw and Vernon, and then he owns a beauty college over on Vermont and Manchester. I talked to him just Sunday, and he said he's excited about being on the show. Also, at that particular event where I met him, there was a Tanya Carmouche, and she's a personal publicist, and she as well indicated that she would love to be on the show there, so I can anticipate having her here. I have a Wanda Davis that is going to be on the show, and I look forward to speaking with her. She's a financial service person, and she's a personal planner also, so it's going to be a great show for her and myself. I spoke with her yesterday, and she started delving into my personal finances, made me a little bit uncomfortable, but it's things that we have to talk about as individuals. We need to have our finances in order in preparation for the future. Then I have a Jackie Monsiero, who's owner of Eclectic Salon. She's a hairstylist and the owner of a salon, and she as well is looking forward to coming on the show. And I have a Melanie Mack, who has the Power of Single Moms, and she does a radio broadcast also. Now, turning attention to me, Smitty, I want to talk a little bit about my background. I'm a local person, although I was born in Florida, a little town called Chipley. I like to joke with folks that it wasn't on the map back in the day, but a prominent ball player, Artis Gilmore, is from that hometown, and I can recall when I was a youngster in Florida visiting my grandfather. Actually, I think it was there for his funeral. There's a trail that we used to take, and it would lead us to a store, and as you go down that trail, you would pass the Gilmore's house, and there were several long, tall, slim young men there. So I didn't know who he was at the time, but he later went on to become a star in the ABA, and he did play in the NBA also. I went to school locally here, though, in L.A., as I indicated. I came here when I was a youngster. I went to Russell Elementary School, which is over on Zamora and Firestone Avenue. And from there, I graduated and went to Edison Junior High School. Now, while I was attending Edison Junior High School, there was a local high school closer to my home being built, and that was Charles Drew Junior High School. And actually, I was the first class to graduate out of Charles Drew. From there, I went to Fremont High School, and while I was attending Fremont, I played a little football. I was on the taxi squad, though. I was practice squad, dummies they would use this for, But the thing about it is I played a lot of sandlot ball, growing up in my neighborhood, and I was a pretty good wide receiver. Didn't have no speed, but anything that was thrown near me, I would catch. And I really enjoyed playing it. But, when we were younger, and back in our days, we played all sports. We played basketball, we played football, we played baseball, we swam over at the local park there, Green Meadows Park. So it was a great time. In fact, the guys I grew up with, we referred to our experience as the block, and every now and then I get a chance to see the fellas, and we reminisce on our good times back then. From Fremont High School, while there, I took a course in bookkeeping, and I was a numbers guy in elementary school. I was pretty good at math and, adding, subtraction, division, and percentage points. And so I thought to myself, I think I should go into accounting. So my senior year in high school, I took a bookkeeping class, and I remember they gave us a packet. We started with a business, and we had to put our debits and credits and assets and liabilities together. And I said, oh, I can do this. So I went to Harbor JC and took all my general courses. And I had in mind, once I went to a four-year school, I was going to major in accounting. So I transferred from Harbor JC and went to Cal State LA, and that was a quarter system, which I loved that because the semester would go by pretty fast. But there I started taking an accounting class, and I started to realize that it was kind of boring. And so rather than continuing that subject matter, I decided to move into business administration with marketing and transportation as my option. And there I began to learn about how to operate a business, the principles of marketing, principles of salesmanship, managerial subjects. We talked about close supervision versus having no supervision whatsoever. And we went on to talk about marketing, international marketing. So all those subject matters that I studied during that time period proved to be very beneficial. And that's why I'm talking about it, because now I'm the owner of a company. I distribute hair products. I service salons and beauty supply stores throughout the local market. In the past, I've worked for a company, and you might have heard me in other shows talk about it. I worked for a company called Worlds of Curls, and there I used to travel all over the United States. So I gained great insight into the hair care industry. I've sat in on a number of classes, hairstyling classes, seminars, etc. Participated in a number of trade shows, so I become pretty fluent with the languages that is used among hairstylists and barbers, and also the professional folks in the business. Let me digress a little bit. While I was going to Cal State LA, I also studied over at LACC, Los Angeles City College. I studied music and a little bit of theater. So I have that innate love for music and also for the entertainment field. I guess that's why I'm kind of a natural here on the program here. That's what they told me when I first participated in my very first show here on the Sunny Wells Sports Show, Just Sports. But while I was attending City College, like, as I indicated, I studied music, music appreciation and a little theory, studied piano. I had a desire to write and also get into acting. And that came about as a result of, in my high school days, they used to tease me and say I looked like Richard Roundtree and Bill Cosby. And so I guess it stuck with me a little bit. I desired to do that. But then when I reach back and think about it, when I was in junior high school, going to Charles Drew, I was selected to participate in a school program. You know, had no idea that I was being, I guess you could say, vetted or being looked at as a potential person that could participate in school drama program. And then I think about, too, how one of my homeroom teachers selected me to go represent Charles Drew at a safety meeting. So I'm sharing these kinds of experiences because today there are many young men walking around lacking direction. Many of the images that they see and the people that they look up to are not providing them with what I would call positive direction. And so not just men, but young ladies also. So, you know, I'm just an everyday person, as I pointed out, how I enjoy talking to everyday people. And it can show you how you could start out right there on 88th Street off of Hooper, between Hooper and Zamora. And I find myself now, like I said, the owner of a company, having traveled throughout the United States extensively, representing Worlds of Curls, and now I represent myself and my company. Going back to the entertainment field, I did work a little bit with a company called Background Talent, so I had an opportunity to be on set in a number of commercials and also feature films on national broadcasting stations. I can think about one program I was on. It was called Blind Ambition, and I was on the set, and we were in an Oval Office. And for those who don't know what the movie Blind Ambition was about, that had to do with a Nixon when he was found to have delved into the Watergate and all the political stuff that surrounded that. Now here's what happened on that set when I was in that setting. They had me right there in the Oval Office. It was a tight shot, and they took the shot and it was going good, and the next thing I know, they pulled me out of it. And what they said was my presence was overpowering right there in the set there. So that told me something, that I had a presence about myself that could dominate a scene, just like Kobe dominated on the basketball court. Well, I could dominate in a setting like that. So personality-wise, I took that to heart, and it helped me to realize that I could win people over in terms of persuading them to use my products or whatever goods or service that I had to offer. And it's good to put yourself in that kind of position if it's possible, because when you're in business for yourself, you need to be able to gain the confidence of the people that you're doing business with. And one way to do that is, your demeanor, the way you approach people. Certainly you have to have knowledge about the products or goods or services that you're offering, but you also need to be able to just calm folks down and help them to see that you're there to help develop their business, help them to make money, just as you're trying to make money for yourself. The hair care industry itself is a really fascinating industry. I got started in it, actually, a gentleman I met when I was working for Sears and Roebuck. And just to digress some, while I was attending college, I was working for Sears and Roebuck, or Sears, part-time. And I started out in the shipping and receiving department. And one of the responsibilities that we had was to handle customers' orders once they purchase a product. For example, if you were in the plumbing department and you were to sell a water heater, the customer would come around with their purchase order or their sales slip, and they would come to the warehouse and they would present their sales order to us, and we would have to go down into the basement, pull the water heater, and load it up in whatever vehicle they had or truck that they had. Now, I'm bringing that up because in that department, or the head of the department, was a gentleman named Comer Cottrell. He later went on to become very prominent in the hair care business. He started out with a product called the Curly Kit, and that product became very, very popular among consumers. He also had done some military business. I forget the total history of it, but I think his wife had something to do with the military, or she was a chemist or something to that effect. But I approached him after he left Sears about entering into the hair care business. And at the time that I approached him, he was packing up and moving to Texas. And so it didn't work out as far as me working for his company. I had worked for Sears for about 6 years. I worked my way from the warehouse up into management. I used to manage the toy department, the garden shop, and then went on to be assistant manager of the second floor outlet that they had converted that particular store right there on Vermont and Slauson, which they're no longer there now. And that's the place where I met my lovely wife, too, as a teenager. But again, I'm just giving you a little bit of background on me and so forth. And as I tried to get out of working inside in retail and wanted to get in outside sales, as I told you, I met Comer Cottrell, and it didn't work out with him. But I later met a gentleman by the name of Frank Davey, and I bring his name up a lot because meeting him had a direct impact on my life in many ways. And at the time, he owned a chemical company, and he was selling raw materials. And we had some exchange in terms of just conversation. What do you do? This is what I do. And come to find out, we had something in common in terms of our worship. We both were attending the same place of worship at the time. And so he and I engaged in conversation, and come to find out, he saw something in me that I knew that was within me, but later on, he came to me and approached me about a company that he started, a hair care company. And again, that company was Worlds of Curls, and at the time he had one product. It was a curl activator, and nice packaging, And I got involved with his company as a regional salesperson. And I like to tell the story. The first day or two out in the field, I realized that if he could finance the growth of his company, that he was going to become a millionaire. And true to my belief, that's what happened. Within 5 or 6 short years, he was head of a company that was doing over $25 to $30 million a year in sales. And I played a key role in the growth and development of his company. When I look at the industry right now, we talk about forecasting, direction and things like that. We always get into that when we're analyzing the direction of the industry. Right now, the hair care industry still booming, even though the country itself is coming out of a recession, and sales for a variety of industries are starting to increase now. People are getting back to work. One thing we've always said about the hair care business, that it was kind of inflation-proof and depression-proof, meaning that when things are bad, people still want to look good and they want to feel good. And when you're groomed properly, you tend to feel better about yourself. And so there's always that tendency for people to always purchase hair products, go to the salons, to the barber shops to make sure that they have themselves presentable. So that's been a good thing about the business. But I have to admit, and I'm sure many stylists would admit, that this past year has been a very difficult year for many of us. And it has to do with a variety of reasons, not just the economy in itself, because you have to deal with trends. And one trend that's very popular right now is the weaves. A lot of women are wearing weaves, and that's big business for the hairstylists. But it means that for a number of stylists who are not into weaving hair, that they've lost sales. And the press and curl is a staple in the market, but we have the natural look now, so women tend to get away from the press and curl look. The relaxer sales have gone down as a result of the natural look. So as a manufacturer, as one who distributes hair products, you have to be aware of these trends and make sure that your products address the current needs of the marketplace. And the one thing that I've done with my products, I'm going to put this here for right now. You can just take a little look at it, and later we'll pop up an image of it on the screen there. But I have a variety of products there: shampoos, conditioners, styling aids. You look at the picture there now on the screen there, you see the bright gold-colored product there. That's actually a moisture-retaining gel. It keeps your hair soft. It doesn't weigh the hair down. It could be used on a variety of textures of hair. It could be used on wavy hair, curly hair, natural hairstyles. Just leaves the hair really, really soft. And it's a blend of natural ingredients or herbal extracts. And that's something that consumers are very aware of now. They like to make sure that you have some natural ingredients involved. So what we're going to do right now is take a break, and we're going to let our sponsor do his thing, as it were, feature Secret Styling Products, because I'm the sponsor of my own show. So let's have Chris bring up that ad.
What's your style? Curly, straight, wavy, or maybe you like it natural? Introducing Secret Styling Hair Care Products by Smith Products Company, LLC. A complete line of hair moisturizers, shampoos, conditioners, and an assortment of other hair styling aids formulated for today's fashion-conscious consumer. Enhance your style. Get the secret.
Are you a diabetic? Need some energy? Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Need to quench your thirst? Try Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, the only energy drink named suitable for diabetics by the American Diabetic Association. And it's now available with no calories, no carbs, no sugar, and no fat, and a smooth, natural blend of energy, vitamins, and minerals. Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink is the healthiest, best-tasting energy drink around. For more information and online ordering with free shipping, please visit hiphopbev.com. Remember, Pitbull Sugar-Free Energy Drink, suitable for diabetics, great for everyone.
Okay, that pit bull drink, I have to testify that it's really a good drink. What I mean by that is I'm what they call a pre-onset diabetic person. I like to say I don't have diabetes, and I refuse to buy into that. But the doctors have cautioned me to make sure I keep that weight down and watch the foods that I eat. But that particular drink that the pit bull presents to us, it works. I can. It has a nice flavor, and when I drink it, it doesn't cause me to spike in my sugar levels. So I'm an endorser of the pit bull energy drink, and it does give you a boost in terms of energy. But now we're going to go back to my conversation. Again, I don't have a guest on today, so I'm interviewing myself, kind of highlighting my background, my education, how I got started in the hair business. And we were talking about current trends. And within the industry right now, one trend is very, very popular is the natural trend, natural phenomenon. We have a lot of consumers that are concerned about the ingredients that go in their hair. The hairstylists are taking heed, or they are conscious of what their clients are requesting. So manufacturers have had to make adjustments in the products that they manufactured and presented to the marketplace. Now, one good thing about the Secret Styling line, I've always had natural ingredients in most of my formulas. Blended, yes, but still a nice percentage of natural ingredients in my formulas. And again, I go back to my moisture retaining gel. I have herbal extracts in it. I have a reconstructor, which has a lot of natural ingredients in it. I didn't bring any so you could actually look at the label. But the reason why I'm talking about the reconstructor is that as a result of a lot of consumers wearing weaves, and I hear the expression, I heard it over the weekend, YouTube University, women are looking at videotapes of how to maintain their hair, and in a lot of cases they're not doing it properly, and the end result is that they have a lot of damage to their hair. And so some of the products that I have, and one in particular was is my premium intensive conditioning reconstructor. It's designed to replenish the moisture, but also to when you do the deep conditioning aspect of it, it imparts protein into the hair. And a technique that's being used in salons right now, or a service that's being offered, is the intensive conditioning steam treatment. And a lot of stylists are using my reconstructor in that treatment there. It's a matter of shampooing the hair with a nice cleansing or moisturizing shampoo, and then taking the appropriate amount of the reconstructor and saturating the hair, put a plastic cap on, and go under a steamer. And they sit for a period of time, and when they come out, the hair is full of moisture. And when the stylists blow dry the hair out, the hair is nice and silky and pliable. And then when they use the flat iron and press the hair out or flat iron the hair out, the hair is nice and shiny and silky. And then you have healthy hair also. It's less damaging. So these trends are things that we pay attention to as manufacturers, and those who participate, from the hairstylists, barbers, manufacturers within the industry. Now, when I look at the industry as a whole, one who has been involved in it for now over 25, 26 years, I always assess the industry again and the direction it's going. And one thing that I noticed that's lacking in the industry is actual unity between the manufacturers and the hairstylists. And what I mean by that is there are so many products out in the marketplace. And when hairstylists are making their purchasing decisions, I feel that they're not really conscious of the impact that they're having on the industry. And I can't say that with 100% because a number of stylists do believe in buying from the local manufacturers, black manufacturers, and supporting our companies. But if there was a more concerted effort, a more targeted effort, I think we all would benefit from it as an industry. And what I mean by that is this. I had a luncheon that I hosted here at the Brownstone Bistro back in November 25th. I was hoping to be able to just pull up a little clip of it, but I don't know that we're going to be able to do that. But at that luncheon, I was able to get several of the local manufacturers together. Kazuri Products, 3D Silk with Don Davison. We had Frank Davey with Worlds of Curls, Dr. Tony Leno with Leno Products. He has the liquid gold bonding. And again, I mentioned Kazuri, Lucky, and Mr. White will get me for it, Jerry White, were all present. And we had nice dialogue with the hairstylists that attended the meeting. And we were able to find out what were some of the needs of the hairstylists. And by doing so, it allowed us with an opportunity to, develop a game plan for the 2015 year. And if you were to visit my website, and I was hoping to get it up on the screen here, but if you visit my website on Facebook, I said website, but my Facebook page, Secret Styling, you'll see links to that particular event. And I encourage the viewers to listen in. It's an hour-long taping, but it's really a very informative session there that's taking place. And it will give you some insight into what's happening in the industry. Okay, we're going to take a peep at a little bit of it. We got it, so we're going to, engineer says he can run it a little bit. So let's just look in there.
Things that our beautiful black women do to their hair to look better. Hot comb and all those things are ultimately damaging to the hair. So he has a line of about 8 or 9 different products that are designed to counteract the effects of harsh treatment on the hair.
Okay, now, how did I meet you, Mr. Fisk?
You came in the barbershop that I was getting my hair cut, and I heard you talking about this seminar, and it piqued my interest, and I really wanted to come and hear from the panelists because I am aware that we don't have very much of the black hair care market, and I wanted to hear from some experts to see if they have any ideas or strategy to try to increase that. I'm brand new and starting out, changing from another profession, and it's a pretty hard sell. I've been advertising on the radio, but no results. So I'm looking for some insight, which is why I'm here today.
Very good. So that's one example. Here's a person who's trying to enter the industry. Industry is flat, but then again, we're talking about a $500 billion industry. So there is money being exchanged in the hands of Afro-Americans going through the marketplace. John?
It was very interesting to me when Walter came and told me about this idea that we were going to have this discussion. I've been in the business for 50 years. I love it. It's my passion. I realize that I have been working in this business in every aspect. I've been behind the chair. I'm still behind the chair. I've owned a salon. I've educated myself in all different areas of this industry. And I found that when you move with the industry, you can stay alive. When I move, I'm educated from the East Coast. So I bring a lot of behaviors from the East Coast, which means that we work. We have a little bit of integrity, and we work it as best as we can. So for what that means is that when I got to California, I was doing straight hair. I always thought that the natural hair was the best. And I could never understand why I had to accept Eurocentric look just to be beautiful. So I have dedicated my career in managing the kinky hair. That's why I call myself a naptician.
Okay, that gives you a little glimpse as to what was taking place at that particular luncheon, and it really turned out to be very successful, despite the fact that it was 2 days before Thanksgiving, and a lot of stylists had to take care of their clients pre-Thanksgiving. But as a result of that meeting, I got a lot of positive feedback, and we're going to do a second meeting sometime in the near future there. And hopefully it'll be hosted right here at the Brownstone Bistro also. You might have noticed that there was a gentleman speaking up. He's into, from a dermatologist standpoint, dealing with hair. His name was Frisbee. And then there was also another popular brand. And I know he's going to shoot me in the foot for not remembering his name right now. That's what happens when you get old. You just can't remember everything. Hairrobics. Got it. Yeah, so he was there, and he really offered some nice insight into the business. He and his wife, Stephanie, what they're doing. We all are manufacturers. We all are going through a similar process in terms of getting appropriate distribution with our products. And that was part of the discussion. We had a second phase of that discussion here in the studio, and I had all the manufacturers here, and we talked about what we were up against. I just feel adamant about the fact that if we could get the hairstylists to work in concert with the manufacturers, that we all could benefit. And what I mean by that is this, and I like to use this movie as an illustration. For those who saw the movie Gladiators, there was a scene in the movie where prisoners were about to be tossed into the arena with gladiators, and they had to defend themselves to the death. And the lead character, Russell Crowe, I believe his name is, and he quickly organized the prisoners, and when they entered into the arena, they had a formation, and that formation that they gathered into protected them from the gladiators that they were to fight in the arena. And as a result of that quick organization working as a unit, they survived to live to tell a story another day. And I bring that up from the standpoint that if we were to unite ourselves as an industry, when stylists make purchasing decisions, and like I indicated earlier, I have a number of stylists that are conscious of the fact that when they purchase my products, that they're buying from a black manufacturer. And so, I get a little edgy when I talk like that. I don't want to seem like I'm racist or anything like that. But when you enter into this hair care business from a black perspective, me coming out of the general market working for Sears, the expression ethnic hair care came into my vocabulary. And, what do you mean ethnic? But that's a category that is set up in the general market. You have ethnic sections in the retail stores. And so you have to accept the fact that you're viewed from that perspective when you're doing business in this industry. So it's a need for us to unite so that when we approach our distributors, that they know that we have the backing of the hairstylists, we have the backing of the consumers, regular consumers, because the hairstylists play a very important role in the channel of distribution. They introduce the products to our end users, their clients. And so if the stylists are making a concerted effort to buy from the local manufacturers, and that's what was being discussed in that luncheon, we in turn can approach the key distributors, and I'm going to list those distributors. We have Jenny's, Cygnus, Andy's, New Star, just to name a few. As I stated in that luncheon, I know from experience that if I were to get my secret styling line in full distribution within, even locally, but within on a national level, my company would be $1 million company plus overnight. So the discussion that we were having at that particular time, is there a hindrance that's taking place from the distributor standpoint to prevent us from, or is it just a matter of us being able to handle the financing associated with getting full distribution? I tend to believe that, being that I've experienced it before, that there's a communication problem. So part of the campaign for 2015 is to organize and to approach the distributors to seek out that distribution that we so coveted. I'm going to ask Chris to be prepared to bring up that commercial for us, give us a little break there. And as we go into that commercial break, we'll come back and we'll talk some more about the need to get that unity among suppliers and manufacturers and hairstylists.
What's your style? Curly? Straight? Wavy? Or maybe you like it natural? Introducing Secret Styling Hair Care Products by Smith Products Company, LLC. A complete line of hair moisturizers, shampoos, conditioners, and an assortment of other hair styling aids formulated for today's fashion-conscious consumer. Enhance your style. Get the secret.
Alrighty, so we're going to continue that conversation about the coordinated effort, getting the hairstylists, barbers, and local beauty supply stores to work in concert with the local manufacturers. And the reason why I bring that up is during that second session that I had inside the studio here with the manufacturers, we highlighted a popular YouTube video that demonstrated that the Koreans were very resolved to control the distribution within the industry. And as I pointed out, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a goal that any business person should set. And they've accomplished that goal in that they do control the distribution within the hair care industry. But, you know, I'm not alarmed by that because, as I pointed out, prior to them controlling the industry, it was controlled by Jews. And while there was more local black-owned beauty supply stores, it was still controlled by non-Afro-Americans. And when I say control, I'm talking about the channel of distribution for the most part. So getting back to this concerted effort with the local stylists and so forth, and that example that I use with the gladiators, now let's just say that we were to have a meeting and we were to say, okay, this day I want 50 stylists to go into such and such a beauty supply store and buy products from that store. When they empty the shelves off of that particular beauty supply store, that creates a demand for our products. And it's a legitimate demand because those hairstylists are going to use those products on their clients. Now, what that does, though, is trigger a need for more products. So where will these supply stores get the products? Well, the way the channel of distribution is set up, in particular with the Koreans, is you have to go to a wholesale distributor. And so they would have to place an order with some of those distributors I mentioned, Jenny's, Cygnus, Andes, or New Star. Now, that's a good thing for a manufacturer like me because when I go to them to get an order, the order size is going to be a lot larger than if I am servicing all the mom and pops on an individual basis. Plus, it takes pressure off of me servicing the local stores because they service those local beauty supply stores. Each distributor might handle 400, 500 accounts. Jenny's, in their instance, they're a national distributor, so they have thousands of stores that they service. So you can see how if we were to put pressure on our distributors to order from the put pressure on the beauty supply stores to order from the wholesale distributors, in turn that would mean larger orders from the manufacturer. Now, a question comes up, well, how do you handle the financing of that? And there are all kinds of ways that one can generate income, and we're going to talk about one option that's relatively new to business individuals, business entities, but another way is to factor your products. It may cost you a few points percentage-wise, but you have factors that will pay for the inventory up front. They do the research on the wholesale company you're doing business with, and they will pay a percentage of the invoice up front to you as a manufacturer. So that gives you the cash you need to operate your business. And then in turn, when that invoice is due, they will collect it directly from the supplier. So there's no need to be in fear of how you're going to finance your operation if you are aware of these particular tools that are available to you. But again, there has to be that genuine demand for your product. And I, for one, have over the years, starting with Worlds of Curls, I also introduced Leisure Curl back in the day to the market for those who are aware of the Leisure Curl products. There are a couple other lines that I introduced to the marketplace. And going through the salons, working closely with the hairstylist is the way to go. Now, recently, when I was promoting the luncheon that I did back in November, one stylist asked me, well, what's in it for me? And, that's a very good question. There's more to it than you just buying products and using on your client's hair. And in the case of my company, I'm giving you products at a very reasonable price. So it allows you to use quality products at a very reasonable price. And then for those who retail, you can also make some money retailing the products. But I'm trying to devise a plan whereby if we have the operators working in a unified manner, that when we get those orders from our wholesale distributors, we could take a percentage of those dollars that are earned and put it in a pot. And the pot that I'm referring to might be with a escrow account, or it could be with a financial institution. And that was one reason why I had invited a guest to that luncheon. Her name is Wanda Davis. And I mentioned at the top of the show that I intend to have her as a guest here. But I was talking to the other manufacturers about that. If we all put a percentage of ourselves into that pool, and then at the end of the year or the end of 2 years, however we decide on it, divided among those hairstylists who participated in the program, that would just put extra money in their pockets, sort of like a rebate program. But no, I didn't want it to be a multi-level marketing type thing, just a good, clean, we go to distributors, we get orders, and we take a percentage of that and put into a pot, and it's to be divided among those stylists who are participating in the program. I think that's a viable program. I think it's a doable program, but we have to win the stylists over. So that's going to be my commitment in the next few weeks, to try and get the stylists back together again with the manufacturers and to go over this particular concept to see if we can win them over. Now, before I get started in the next phase of this discussion, I want to have Chris pull up crowdfunding. And that's another avenue that funding can be raised. And I myself have a crowdfunding site up, but we're going to talk about GoFundMe in particular. That's a new site that I was introduced to. And we can have Chris kind of scroll down the site that's up right now. And for the viewers, if you watch this program, you can see that there's one couple there that raised $93,000, and I believe he was associated with a cancer campaign. And we scroll a little bit more, we see there's another person there. He's a veteran, I believe, or maybe an ex-Olympian champion. That's what it says there. He raised $55,000 plus. And scroll down, we'll see another one. If you're able, is that the end of it? Okay. Okay. Well, we scroll. It's taking a little time there. There's a young lady that was involved in the campaign, and what does it say there? Creative entertainment, battling illness. So again, she has an illness, and she raised almost $14,000. Now, the thing about this particular site here is that it doesn't take a whole lot to get involved. If you have access to a computer, the internet, you can go to that site, and within 5 or 10 minutes, you could have a campaign set up. And there's another one there, medical care for an abandoned puppy. There's a lot of dog lovers out there, and so apparently within a short period of time, this person was able to raise almost $7,000. Now, I have a buddy that's really high on crowdfunding, and I've been hearing him talk about it, but it wasn't because of his conversation that I personally got involved. When you're on the internet, you have these opportunities that come before you. So I'm going to ask Chris to put up my site, and I just changed it just recently. The title used to be Black Hair Care Company Seeking Funding to Help Create Jobs. But I've adjusted it to now Against All Odds Fundraising. And I like that little image that we have up there. It shows you that when you're in business, you never know how close you are to succeeding in your goals. And so you don't want to stop trying. So even as you look at my fundraising campaign there, I've raised $0. So that's very disappointing. The way that they encourage you to do it is to send out information to friends, family members, and so forth. And you try to raise dollars. So even though I haven't succeeded at it, I'd like to at least make the viewers aware that this is a tool that's available to them, and maybe they'll have better success in terms of raising funds for their business. Even though I'm not succeeding in raising funds that way, I have other opportunities that I involve myself with. But you can take a look at the site there. I have a picture of my products there, and that image there is very popular among viewers. They love to see those young ladies there with the bright smile. But they also reflect the current trend in natural hairstyles, curly hairstyles. That's a commercial that I air. I don't know if you click it, will it come on? Or okay, that's the same commercial that the sponsor uses for this particular show. But again, a viewer of that site would be able to see the commercial there. So for those who are peering into the program here, I encourage you to go to that site if you're trying to raise funds for your business or a personal cause. We're going to take a break right now. I'm stretching my conversation to an hour long, so it seems like my voice is trying to go out on me. So you're able to run that commercial one more time for me there, Chris?
What's your style? Curly, straight, wavy, or maybe you like it natural? Introducing Secret Styling Hair Care Products by Smith Products Company, LLC. A complete line of hair moisturizers, shampoos, conditioners, and an assortment of other hair styling aids formulated for today's fashion-conscious consumer. Enhance your style. Get the secret.
Okay. So I'm battling now trying to maintain my voice here, but I'm doing a good job. Appreciate Chris, the engineer there. He's working along with me. What I'm going to do now is just put this up. This was a event that I participated in on Sunday, and this is by the California Cosmetology Association. And it was really a very nice event. It was held on Sunday. That's something that I try to avoid doing. I like attending my Christian meetings on Sunday. But if you look in here, you might see my name on the list there, Walter Smith, somewhere there. They gave me a little plug there. It was really a nice event. They have this event. This was an annual meeting. They have it every twice a year, I was told. And the reason why I joined that association is that it will put me in touch with thousands of salons and hundreds of thousands of hairstylists. Now, at this particular show, we had several vendors, and there were several hairstylists that did demonstrations. In fact, that's what it talks about. This was a day of education. I'll put that up again. And I had an opportunity to meet some people that I'd never met before, mostly young folks, and I'm going to tell a couple of stories about them. One was a young lady named Risa. I was just totally impressed with her presentation. She specialized in hair cutting, and she had a model there that had 3 layers of colors, and she talked about how she applied those colors after relaxing the hair. Now, back in the day, that was something that was like tabooed. You don't relax a hair and apply color within the same treatment. But she's perfected the art of doing so, and there was a particular step in there where she sprayed a particular solution after the relaxing of the hair, and then she put some protein into the hair, and then she applied the color. And I may not be saying it in the order that she presented it, but it was fascinating to listen to her presentation. Again, I was very impressed with the way she was extremely professional in the way she delivered her presentation there. There was also another young lady, I can't think of her name right now, something Lynn, I believe it is. She did a great job, too, of presenting her presentation. Also, there was a young man named James, and he did a great job, too. He was promoting a styling aid, or styling tool that he used in particular. But what really captured my attention was they kept talking about Miko, when Miko comes, and Miko this and Miko that. And finally, toward the end of the program, a young man by the name of Miko showed up. Now, when he appeared on stage, you know, he didn't have an overwhelming presence, but his reputation preceded him. And he proceeded to give us some insight into his background, and I was just totally fascinated with the story that he told. He indicated that his family was a military family, and his dad used to travel around in the Navy, and so they moved from place to place, and he said he never really had an opportunity to establish himself with playmates as a result of the family always moving around. And he indicated as a result of that, when they finally settled into one location, he actually became a gang member. And he said he was a Crip. And he told us why he chose to get involved with the Crip gang. He indicated that his dad, as a sailor, tended to work with a lot of black sailors in the kitchen. And so it was just a natural thing for his family to be associated with black folks. So he felt comfortable with that particular gang that he joined. And he talked about all the money he made and, you know, all the different things he got involved with while he was in the gang, but he got caught. And that's generally the case with most gang members. They find themselves in trouble and they could end up in jail or worse, you know, could lose your life. In his case, he was fortunate he didn't lose his life, but he was in some serious trouble. And he went on to relate to us about his experience in the court system. And he had a prosecuting attorney that was trying to put him away for several years. I think he said 7 years, but I could be wrong. But in the process of waiting for the court dates and so forth, he said that he met a barber, or he learned the craft of, he took interest in barbering, and later he met a lady. And this is the part that was really fascinating. He would relate to the lady all the people that he met during the court proceedings and the different attorneys and so forth, and none of them were people that she knew. You know, they were trying to figure out who they might know that might be able to help him. And it turns out the last person that he brought up, he said it was a gentleman, the prosecuting attorney, had a thick mustache and wore a hat, and turns out that it was the lady that he was working with, I guess, in the hairstyling end of the business, and it was her husband. And so it turns out that instead of him being put away for many, many years, a plea bargain deal was cut. And as a result of that, he never looked back in terms of hairstyling. And they had the Global Awards that Sunday, and he had just come from there styling hair, and he was talking about he has contracts with several leading agencies or leading production companies. So his wife is also involved in the business. So when you're in the hair business, you meet people from all walks of life, and again, that was a nice story for a young person to tell. And again, as I talk about everyday people on this show and how much I enjoy being involved with everyday people, you know, they may be doing some extraordinary things, but still they're just everyday people. So for the viewers and listeners, we want them to always know that never give up, just like that image that you saw on my website there. You could be very close to attaining your desired goals, and you could be discouraged because of the world that we live in today. It's a lot of events that are taking place. You think about over in Nigeria, over 2,000 people were slaughtered, massacred. We think about over in Paris, France, there were several people that were assassinated, as it were. And even locally, people are dying every day in the streets. So in spite of that, we all are charged with the responsibility of making a living for ourselves, providing for ourselves, for our families. And so I, as one who have a program that allows me to share experiences of individuals that come on the program, and today my personal experience, I hope that it could be a source of encouragement to those who are listening. Now, I'm one that really advocates that the real foundation of understanding is for a person to take time out to study the Bible. So I encourage viewers to do that. And when you pray to the Most High God in the name of Jesus Christ and ask for understanding, wisdom, insight into your study material. Because when you study the scriptures, you get a full understanding of God's will and purpose, and you can see how you fit into his arrangement of things. Now, the Bible talks about there are two roads to life. It says, that's in Matthew, the 7th chapter. It talks about a broad and spacious road, and says many people are taking that road, but it leads off into destruction. And then it talks about a narrow and cramped road, and few find that road. But that's my encouragement to you listeners, to seek out understanding so you can be on that narrow and cramped road. Getting back to the business, a business that I'm very fond of, I encourage listeners too that are contemplating what they're going to do with their lives, especially young people. Next week, I hope to have on Ken Williams. He's the owner of Universal Beauty College, and we're going to get into his background. Again, his family has owned that business for over 85 years, and so he has a vast amount of knowledge and insight into the beauty business. And as I pointed out, being a part of this discussion just Sunday, there's great opportunities there for individuals to be a part of an organization where they can provide for their families and have the benefits and so forth associated with being a part of that organization. So we're nearing the final minutes of my show, and I hope that the viewers have enjoyed the presentation here. I want to talk a little bit about what I plan on doing in the future. Is on a personal level, I'm going to continue to develop this program, Smitty's Corner, and hopefully I'll get better at being a host here, and I'm going to continue to bring quality guests here so we can share their experiences, and hopefully the viewers will benefit from it. I also am working on a manuscript, a script. I've actually written a book. The title of it is The Grease Game, and I haven't put it out yet, but I hope someday to get it to the point where it's ready to enter into the market. I was just reading an article in Black Enterprise about a gentleman named Charles King. He used to be a promoter for William Morris Agencies, I believe, and he's breaking out and he's getting ready to start his own agency. So any of you out there who have written scripts and so forth or have ambition of getting your projects out there, maybe you can do the research and contact this person. From what I read, he's setting up multi-channel avenues for folks to view their creative works. I guess it's similar to what's going on right here at RMC Studio. You know, this is a great place to present your projects so you can get it out to the general public. And then he also is working on feature films, etc. So that's part of what I'm doing. And then also I'm securing my retirement. So you see me working hard in the marketplace, promoting secret styling products. No, that's what I'm doing. My family members, one day they may decide to take it over. If not, maybe I can set it up so that the people can take it over. So again, it's all about everyday people with me and programs that work for us all. So I've enjoyed, taking this hour to provide some insight into me personally, and I look forward to having my guests on next week. So I want to thank Chris Hodge for his fine engineering and being patient with me and pulling up the necessary linkage to make the program work. So we'll see you next time around next Tuesday, 1:30 to 2:30, and we want to take a time out to thank the studio here, Mr. Johnny Morris and Crystal Wells, for making sure that this show works off for the benefit of us all. Thank you, and we'll see you next time around.